Hello and welcome to the Scoreboard, your morning report for January 10th, 2024. I'm Zach Bemis, your host, and let's get straight into the NHL results from yesterday. Starting with the Tampa Bay Lightning defeating the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 3-2. Nick Herbig with the overtime game-winning goal for Tampa Bay in that game. They scored twice in the last 10 minutes of regulation to force the overtime. John Cooper became the third fastest coach to reach 500 NHL wins. Drawing defeated San Jose by a score of 7-1. Mitch Marner, 2 goals, 4 points. Henry Thrun scored his first ever NHL goal for the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks looking for their first win since December 12th against Winnipeg. Seattle defeated Buffalo by a score of 5-2. Joey Decor with a 36 save win. Seattle with a 7-game winning streak now. Jeff Skinner got his team leading 17th goal of the season for the Buffalo Sabres. Vancouver defeated the New York Islanders by a score of 5-2. Vancouver improved to 11-2-2 since December the 5th. Brock Nelson had 2 goals in the loss for the New York Islanders. Elias Pettersson, his 7th game-winning goal of the season for the Vancouver Canucks. Anaheim defeated Nashville by a score of 5-3. Anaheim lost Trevor Zegras in that game though, and he will be out he'll be out for a while. That's a big loss there for the Ducks. Lucas Dostal, a 39 save win for the Ducks, who broke a 5-game losing streak. Winnipeg defeated Columbus by a score of 5-0. Winnipeg on a 7-game winning streak and atop the NHL standings. Connor Hellebuyck got his 34th career shutout, and Cole Perfetti had a 2-goal and 3-point game. Florida defeated the St. Louis Blues by a score of 5-1. Matt Tkachuk with a natural hat trick and 4 points. That was his 5th ever hat trick. Florida got to 8 straight wins. Luke Schenn snapped his 16-game losing streak, 16-game goalless drought for the St. Louis Blues. Edmonton defeated Chicago by a score of 2-1. Edmonton on their second 8-game winning streak of the season. Jason Dickinson scoring his 14th goal of the season. That's a career high, and by quite a bit for the Chicago defenseman. And there was a very questionable challenge in the game that negated Zach Hyman call. Went about 15 minutes. Connor McDavid definitely not happy with that as he spoke to the media earlier. Arizona defeated Boston by a score of 4-3 in overtime. Nick Schmaltz, the overtime hero in that one. Dylan Guenther has has a goal in back-to-back games since his call-up from the AHL. Boston back-to-back losses in extra time on back-to-back days. Finally, Calgary defeated Ottawa by a score of 6-3. Calgary had to score 4 goals in the third period to get that victory. Nazem Kadri with his 600th career points with a 2-assist game. Ottawa, losers of 9 of their last 10 on the road. It's been a very, very, very tough stretch for the Ottawa Senators. Going to the upcoming games today, only 3 of them. Montreal will be taking on the Philadelphia Flyers at 7. It's Minnesota and Dallas at 7:30. Vegas takes on Colorado at 10 p.m. Looking at the Atlantic Division now, you can see Ottawa there at the bottom, just kind of laying about. Buffalo comes after that. They've been on a very similar stretch to the Ottawa Senators in terms of being disappointing. Montreal at 39 points, which is more than most people thought they would have. Detroit, Tampa, Toronto, Florida, and Boston. Boston's still at the top there, but they have been on a bit of a lull. Well, Florida has been able to rack win after win after win in their last long stretch, frankly. Into the leading scores, not much has changed from yesterday. Looking down at Elias Pettersson, he has 20 goals and 33 assists, 53 points in 41 games. He only has 2 penalty minutes on the season. He's only taken 1 penalty so far this year. He's been very good staying out of the penalty box and very good at challenging people when they do go in the box. He scored a lot of stuff on the power play. Into the Hot 15 right now. Sebastian Aho still on top of that with 4 goals and 16 assists in his last 10 games. He's 2 points per game in his last 10. Looking down the list a little bit there, Alex Barkov yet to score in his last 10. He has a long goalless drought, but he's gotten 15 assists in that time, so he's still high up on that board. And even farther down that list, Gustav Nyquist on this list now, 6 goals, 7 assists in his last 13 games played. Going over to the CCHL now. No games in the last couple of days, but they return to action today as Navin goes to Nepean to take on the Raiders at 7:30 p.m. If we looked at the leading scores, I pressed the wrong scene. Looking at the standings, Navin, as we mentioned earlier, mentioned yesterday, is kind of playing with house money right now, looking for their 22nd win of the season if they can get it. Currently at 46 points. Nepean trying to really force their way into the playoff picture right now. Bottom of the Iceman division, but still definitely in contention. They'll need get some wins as the season progresses here, however. And finally, we'll look at the CCHL leading scorers. Jason Letourneau still at the top of that list with 28 goals and 27 assists over 55 points in 33 games. I'm going to look right now at Devin Savignac. He has 21 goals and 16 assists for 37 points in 29 games. And he'll be looking to increase on that today as his team is in Nepean. But that's going to do it for us here at the Morning Report and here of Trending in Sports. I'm Zach Bean saying thank you so much for joining me here this morning, and I hope to see you back. Here tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic day.